time to try some Papa Gino's pepperoni pizza. Now, I got this at Price Chopper, and yeah, I don't know what Papa Gino's is. Well, I know it's a pizzeria, but um, yeah, and don't be confused with my local pizzeria called Ginos Pizza. That's not anything to do with Papa Gino's. Papa Gino's seems to be a franchise, and Gino's is just a local pizzeria. Still hot, but let's let it cool for 1 minute. We'll give you a close-up of the pizza as it cools for 1 minute. As you can see, looks like it's got a different cheese on it besides just as you can see, it has more of like a yellow, I don't know if it's cheddar or something, I don't know. It said it just had mozzarella in it, but it looks like, or maybe that's the grease, actually, sorry, that's the grease. This one's hot too. I thought that one would have been a little bit cold, but it's hot. So as you can see a close up, it looks very different. It looks kind of like any other pizza. It's not anything, but you know, one thing with the dough, it's actually like fresh dough that they sell. It's not like the frozen hard dough. When I opened up the box to put it in the oven, it was actually doughy dough. It wasn't like frozen dough they usually get with pizza. So this is weird. I think they make it like actual dough. It's not. Well, you know, the frozen pizza has dough, but the other frozen pizzas, the dough seems to be more frozen, and this was like very doughy. It was kind of weird, but yeah, it was like actually like I just went to Papa Gino's. I bought a pizza there and I brought it home. That's how it was basically like. Still hot. And it didn't burn, but it got pretty. It only takes a couple minutes. And dough seems to be very soft too. It doesn't seem to be overly hard like other pizzas. Let's let that cool for another minute or so. You can glamour the pizza here. It's got a lot of. Notice the cheese is very oily or very greasy. So, but that's kind of the norm for franchises. They seem to have very oily, greasy pizza. I think they put mozzarella and like Romano cheese or something, which is like a normal. I don't know. Let's try it. Let's do it the New York way. I like to do it, or this is gonna just fall apart, but. That's a different tasting pizza. Tastes fresh. Almost tastes exactly like Little Caesars. Like when I used to eat Little Caesars pizza back in like 2017 before. Now there's Little Caesars around me, but every time I go to it, it's always closed. They open at a Pacific time, and every time in Plattsburgh, it's always closed because they open at like 3. So one of these days I will do a review of Little Caesars pizza again, but one of these days I will be in Plattsburgh at 3. I just have to be there at the right time to get Little Caesars because they're they open at that time, and it's ridiculous because I like to get pizza, but I think it might have to do with the pandemic. So once this pandemic is over or semi over, maybe Little Caesars will be open at right time when I can get it. But every time I go to Plattsburgh, it's always closed. So unfortunately, I haven't done Little Caesars review. I really wanted to try the pretzel crust pizza, but it's already not a thing now. It's gone. It's over. No more pretzel crust pizza until the next time they release it again. Almost like it's like the tomato sauce is actually tomatoes. That's what it tastes like. It's not like processed tomato sauce like they usually put. It's actually like tomatoes, it seems to be. As you can see, it's on my hand. It's like crushed up tomatoes that they put. And then there's these little pieces of pepperoni too. Yeah, the tomato sauce is actually tomatoes, like little crushed up tomatoes, like I said, as you can see. That's very different because usually, and this is relatively cheap at the store at Price Chopper, which is surprising because everything else is like high price for pizza. Like even their own branded pizzas, like probably $7. This was probably like $4 or so. But you're only getting a small pizza too. I mean, that might be the reason as well, but. Yeah, so Papa Ginos Pizza, well, what I say? It's mediocre. It's not like the greatest pizza in the world, you know. It's got a different taste of it. I don't know if it's just cheese or maybe the actual pizza sauce or actual tomato sauce is put on it. Maybe it's the dough too, because the dough seems to be different than other pizzas that I've made in the past. So I would have to say this is pretty good pizza, and it's relatively cheap too. So I wouldn't mind buying it again or getting it again. Like my mom bought it actually, so I didn't buy it, but I mean like getting it again if I would get a pizza. Like it's not a big pizza. It's basically a little bit bigger than this plate. That's how big it is. It's not like an actual family pizza, unless, you know, you're cutting into small slices. But usually people that have family pizzas, it's just a big pizza and you put it in big slices. So this is not like a big dinner or something. You would get like two or three of these if you wanted. And like I said, they're relatively cheap, which is weird. You know, usually like even Price Chopper pizza is kind of skyrocket high. It's like I said, it's mediocre pizza, so it's not like the best pizza in the world, but it's not the worst pizza. My rating of it would be a 5 out of 5. So yeah, thanks for watching and peace. And next week maybe I'll do if I go again to Price Chopper, maybe I'll do another pizza review of their California Kitchen. It's another pizza place that sells frozen pizzas called California Kitchen Pizza, and maybe I'll do a review of one of their pizzas. I don't know.